With planting season really getting underway finally, as we've had a few good days of weather to be able to do that. Today, the markets are reacting a little bit more to some of the weather. I know the wheat market's up a little bit, and with the storms here in the Midwest, planting really coming to a halt. Taking a look at the daily market summary with Jason Meyer of agmarket.net. Jason, what do we see going on in the grain markets today?
We had a mixed bag in the corn and the bean market here today. You alluded to the wheat market. The Kansas City wheat market was on fire today, closing up about 30, but that's just because of the drought conditions in the Western Plains here. So corn was up fractionally, but you would think if wheat was up that strong, we see corn a little bit more supported. But corn and beans are relatively quiet for the most part. Corn, there's some talk that the Brazilian safrinha corn crop might struggle a little bit as we go forward, as it seems like the wet season is maybe ending a little earlier than anticipated. So that'll be something to closely monitor as we go forward. Then on the flip side, the soybeans, we had soybean oil made new contract highs again yesterday, but then on a technical perspective, had a pretty poor close. So I think just the weakness that we saw in soybean oil yesterday kind of spilled over to the beans in the soy meal here today as well.
I think it's interesting with that South America weather that yes, with those drought conditions, it'll have an impact. We will still very likely have a massive crop down there. So even when we see these issues, it's not like we'll instantly be super competitive in the marketplace right away, right?
That is correct. When you look at the last USDA monthly supply and demand report, they actually increased world corn stocks. So even if Brazil has a little bit of a hiccup in their production, the world market can absorb that. And you kind of talk about Argentina. It seems like that Argentine corn crop continues to get bigger each and every week. I would say there's a couple reasons. Number one, they had pretty good weather, and number two, the Argentine farmer actually applied fertilizer, more fertilizer than normal because they've been profitable down there. So that the gains that we could see in Argentina could mitigate and offset any losses potentially that we see coming down the road in the safrinha corn crop.
And then over on the livestock side of things, Jason, how did the cattle and hogs trade today?
The cattle market actually closed up a little bit. So June cattle were down 6 days in a row here. So we were able to break that streak, close a little bit higher on the day. We found some great support. It's kind of the same way on the hog market. Slaughter numbers have been higher so far this week, but we found some good support after our recent drop that we saw the last month and a half or so.
And then when we look at those lean hogs in particular, feels like that there's either been not much happening or really the market just going down. Do we see anything potentially that could move that hog market here soon?
I would say you kind of look at your beef. So beef prices continue to remain elevated. We're getting into grilling season. So if a consumer maybe wants to grill, maybe they don't go the beef route, maybe they come to the pork route, and that could create some more demand that way from the higher beef prices.
All right, Jason, lots of great information today. For anybody who would like to get in touch with agmarket.net, how can they do that?
The best way is to go to our website, then click on one of our profiles, and that'll give you our contact information, and we'd be more than happy to speak with you.
All right, Jason, thanks again for the time as always, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Riley. Have a great day.